Hello, you are listening to On The Topic podcast, and this week I might be dropping the C-bomb for the first time in 4 years. I'm Dan.
That's too long. And I no doubt I'm going to be spitting feathers. I'm Alex. And, well, before we get into this week's Volume 2, Getting a C, what grinds your gears, I've been down. We've been a couple of weeks since each other. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? So we've had my other half's family over from Ireland. Mm-hmm. So we went for some day trips to Winchester and London, which was quite nice. Obviously, we've had a glorious heat wave.
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps it went on for too long because some of the rants we've got for What Grinds Your Gears 2022, a lot of them are heat related.
Oh, right.
And I think it's probably got a lot of people het up as well. But I mean, that's it really. So I'm back to work, enjoying life. Been on a bit of a Netflix docuseries binge.
Oh, right.
I mean, all of these grinded my gears to some extent. So just in theme with the episode. So first up, we've got Untold. So these are all on Netflix. Highly recommend people check them out. Untold, the girlfriend who didn't exist.
Oh, right.
It follows the life and career of all-American Notre Dame. It's not Notre Dame. I can't remember how it's pronounced in America. It's the French spelling.
Okay, yeah.
Football player Manti Te'o, and explores how a clandestine online relationship threatened both his career and legacy. And it's proper catfish stuff.
What is it?
This person pretty much always ruins his career. So he loses his grandmother, and then this catfish decides, well, do you know what? I need to stop carrying on with this. I need to kill this character off that I'm being.
Yeah. And
he goes on TV and he says, you know, I've lost my grandmother, I've lost my partner the same day. I mean, I don't get this stuff, Alex. Like, why would you be in a relationship with someone you've never met before? But anyway, and then all of a sudden it comes to light that this person is still alive.
Oh.
And they think he's the batshit crazy one, even though he's been dicks around. So proper catfish stuff. Don't know where Max and Eve were at the time, but
okay, phenomenal
stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Britney versus Spears, which is a documentary that follows, of course, Britney Spears and her life over several years of her career and her conservatorship. How in hell does this woman have a conservatorship? I mean, it has ended now, thank God, but for 13 years, when she's still writing her own albums, teaching her dancers to do the choreography and dance and stuff, I don't get it.
Well, I don't know too much about it. I only know the Free Britney movement, which is surface stuff, but she seemed to have still everything that she needed to go about her daily life. She didn't seem impaired.
No.
So it's very odd how it started and then how it remained in place. Now, I don't understand too much about, you know, the legal sides of guardianship and the rest of it, but it just does seem really odd that someone could take advantage of an adult like that. It's really quite scary.
And there were a lot of people in that conservatorship making a lot of money from it.
Yeah, not so bank.
I think especially her dad. You know, bloke's a weapon. But yeah, that's a good watch. Very interesting. Another one was Trainwreck, Woodstock 99.
I've seen this advertised. Now, people wax lyrical about Woodstock, don't they? Say, oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
66, was it?
It was 69.
69,
so it was like a peace festival because of Vietnam and everything that was going on at the time.
So but it wasn't everything it was made out to be, was it?
69 was. So it was very much like the peace movement. Let's drink and smoke a load of weed and like watch people like
Jimi Hendrix
play. So it was very chilled out. 99, however, was a fucking car crash.
Was it?
It's horrendous. Definitely watch it. So I mean, obviously you're thinking generation on 30 years later, and now you're getting bands like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, these bands aren't about love, war, love, anti-war and peace and all that stuff. They're all about angst and anger and venting, and you've got basically like jocks and teenagers, young adults who are feeding off this energy, and of course it all sort of builds up and gets a bit, it's mad. And what really grinds my gears about it is the people that ran the event, they take no ownership of the riots, the rapes. It's fucking horrendous.
Oh, it was lawless.
It's
oh, wow.
so bad. I mean, you can see Fred Durst, he's an egotistical bastard. He's really feeding off the energy of that crowd, and of course he's going to keep riling them up. And of course, after Limp Bizkit played, where does that energy go?
Into the crowd, fighting and the rest of it. Wow.
Exactly. It's
bleak.
Just phenomenal. And the last one was The Most Hated Man on the Internet. It's a 3-part Netflix docuseries that covers the story of Hunter Moore. Does any ring any bells?
Yes. Yeah, I've heard of Hunter. Is this? There's a couple of people who. It's more than a couple of people who hate in America, but is this the pharmaceuticals guy? Is this a different one?
No, this is about a guy that's up a website called Is Anyone Up?
Oh, right.
And it's it was a pornographic site based on stolen and hacked photos.
Oh.
And the struggle to take the website down. And of course, he decided to hack the wrong person, and the mother is just fierce, and she's taking these people down. And of course, Hunter's got his own following, like I think they're called like the family. Batshit crazy. They were doing anything for him.
Supporters of.
Yeah.
Wow.
If he put something up like a tweet on Twitter and said, "I want you to go punch yourself in the face," people would film it and do it.
No.
Just insane.
That is odd.
Like Hunter Moore, I'm dropping the C-bomb now. He is a legit cunt.
Wow.
Horrendous.
Straight out the doors.
Just, I mean, check them out. These are fantastic docuseries. So me and my half had that week off after a family come over, and we're like, what should we do? Let's just watch a load of Netflix documentaries. So there it is. I recommend them. That's what I've been up to. What about you, Alex?
Family holiday, Dan. So we went over to our neighbours in France. Had a bit of a trip. I went to Geneva first. Flew to Geneva, trained it over to Lyon. Lovely city, Lyon.
Beautiful.
I can hugely recommend if you haven't been there, or if our listeners are considering it. It's the second biggest city in France, behind Paris.
One of the biggest football teams as well, if I recall.
Probably.
Well, they used to be big. I remember they used to rinse League One all the time. But it's not Paris Saint-Germain.
But it's a lovely city, lovely food, lovely people. It is wonderful stuff. Then we went down to Cannes and to Nice on the Côte d'Azur. So yes, fully refreshed and back for some lovely time-relevant, delicious podcasting.
Lovely. And don't mind me, I've been on the red. I just dropped my mic.
So yes, this week I've already you already guessed if you clicked on the episode, guys. But this week, Dan, this is volume 2 of What Grinds Your Gears.
We've had to slap a double E on it. It's going to be that bad.
Yeah. It's going to be quite sweary. Dan's already gone hardcore straight out of the gates. So if you're still listening and you're okay with it, good. But I mean, you have to be warned. We're not going to put a spoiler warning in there or sweary warning because you've already missed the boat. But yeah, it's we've got quite a few people got in touch actually.
We did. You have disappointed.
A lot of things upset a lot of people, and this is why I like these episodes, because actually we can get the niche to the common, and we can get involved and hear what you guys have to think.
I'd actually highly recommend listening to last year's volume as well. So it's the first time I think I'd ever heard you drop the C-bomb.
Which is odd because it is a favourite word of mine. But yes, it'll be in the description below, so go and have a listen first and see what we got up to then. But yeah, we've got I've got 8. Tell a lie, 8 from when I put the feelers out. And you've got, how many was it, Dan?
I've got 7.
Okay, so
I reckon I might merge
15?
2 of them together.
Okay. So we've got a fair amount from listeners, and then we've got our own. So should we kick off with what grinds our gears, Dan?
What grinds our gears? Well, I'm going to kick it off.
Yeah.
Flies.
Oh, right.
Those buzzy little wankers, you know, those little things that come in from the garden.
I do know them.
They get in through your kitchen door or your window. They buzz around for fucking ages. They try to fly into you. They land on your food.
They do. You know where they've been as well.
Yeah, they've been on dog shit. Probably.
Yeah, 100%. We have fruit in the house, which is always a good thing to promote healthy eating and the rest of it.
Love a banana and an apple and strawberries.
This is the thing, Dan. If you don't wash your fruit properly, and in the summer, there's fruit larvae sometimes on them. And if you leave your fruit out, the eggs mature and then they hatch little brown flies. Now, gents, you know what I'm talking about out there. Dan knows about this. if you go into the gents' toilets in a pub,
oh god,
what do you see that's from the insect world?
It's just those little
fucking brown fuckers. They're attracted to sugar in your wee that you have when you drink beer.
Lovely.
Well, those, not the same ones for the toilet, but nonetheless, these little brown flies are flying around my fucking kitchen. And we cooked dinner the other week, and this is really boring, sounds like a middle-aged story, but bear with me, listener. I left it out, cooled down, ate our dinner, came back, and there was 4 or 5 of the fuckers just sat there. So I went to go and put a tin foil on the way, put it back into the fridge. I was like, I can't eat now. Because the fuckers have been eating my dinner, God knows what. I had to put it in the bin. I was distraught.
Savage.
Such a waste. But yeah, I fucking hate them.
Just repulsive little bastards. And what's more annoying, you can open a door wider or a window.
No, they don't want to go.
They get there and you're like, yes, that's it. You get in there. Go on. You fucking prick. And he's done a U-turn.
They choose violence every single time. Which is usually their untimely end.
I tell you what was terrifying over the summer when it was really hot the first time. I'm sort of going back to, I think it was the end of July. So we've got a chimney breast two of them in our house, but they're both boarded up and they've got a small vent in them. So whoever lived there before had sort of taken the chimney, they covered up the bit where you set the fire, I guess, basically. Yeah. Something had died in our chimney because there were fucking flies coming out this little vent. Oh. And I came home from work one afternoon for lunch and they were swarming around. It was terrifying, so I had to tape it all up. I'm spraying fly spray up in there. It took about 3 days to finally clear them off, but it was genuinely quite horrific. It was something out of a horror film.
Yeah, man.
They're all you can see them just trying to pile out the little grate. It's disgusting.
That's gross. You sure haven't got a dead body hidden behind the walls?
I mean, it's not a dead body. I mean, it could be a dead rat or a mouse. I know they sort of lurk.
If it's chimneys, something could have fallen down and made it time the end.
I'm sure there was some scratching around in there a few months ago, but
I had a flat once actually, and it's in the kitchen, and the floorboards didn't meet the wall, and it was summer, quite a few years ago now, and there were flies. You could see them climbing out of this hole where it met the floor on the wall and then flying off in the room, and there were loads of the fuckers, and so I had to try and get bug spray, but I sprayed too much and didn't open the window, did I? So I started to choke myself out by the insect spray, and I had to then fill it up myself. Before then it wasn't working because these arseholes were still getting through the gaps because of course they're insects. And then I had to get landlord out to actually properly sort the floor out, but I mean I never knew what the cause was, nor did I want to. But yeah, man, they get everywhere. They're horrible.
Just little bastards. So that's my first thing, nice and simple, and then we'll get into the real nitty gritty after your first one, Alex.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, we are face to face again today.
We are.
It's lovely,
and it's nice to hear the wildlife outside. You've got seagulls fucking barking again.
Yeah, and look, guys, it's not in the room. These mics are particularly good, the lapel mics. But I found, because I work upstairs, and I'll be talking about work in a second. It's my first ground my gears, and there's a couple of young seagulls. I don't know what they're called. Useful seagulls. Anyway, I haven't got the white feathers yet. They've got the speckles of brown. And one of them keeps on flying around, squawking in the air like a dragon. Before then it lands, looking for its parents, I guess, to be fed.
This is real life Game of Thrones, ladies and gents.
It really is. A new series is out. I haven't seen it.
No, I don't know if I'm keen.
Apparently good reviews.
I've seen the trailer for Lord of the Rings as well.
Same.
That looks quite good.
Female orcs, apparently.
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah.
I'll check them both out. Why not?
But no, we're not talking about dragon speaking here in the background. No. So this is, I guess, for the last 2.5 years, right? Since in the whole world, we've all been working from home or locked down if we can, or remotely communicating. So when I talk about this is in a work context, but I guess you could have it if you were FaceTiming friends or doing we did a couple of house parties, didn't we? Yeah. The app house parties, where it's basically video calling, but you have people.
Very early on. We thought it was only be 2-3 weeks.
I know, right?
Longest 2-3 weeks of my life.
Yeah, how naive we were. This is, Dan, all about people not muting themselves on video calls.
Oh, this is a bane of my life as well. So working for a corporation where you have to talk to a lot of people, it's a bugaboo.
bloody irritating. How difficult is it if you're not talking? Put yourself on fucking mute.
Yeah.
Because there's often been a case, and we have these daily calls where you have something from 10, 15, 20 people on a call, and everyone takes it in turns to give updates, etc. It's a daily stand-up for those who know what they are or have them in their organisation. But the principle is, you always have one person, and I won't swear about it because they are my colleagues and I do love them dearly, but you have one person who invariably is out walking the dog or having a bowl of cereal or, I don't know, boiling the kettle, and all you hear is that noise,
that background noise.
And they've turned the camera off because of course they're doing other stuff, and that's fine, I'm not distracted, but leave it on mute. And look, people forget, right? But it's always happening, and you suddenly get this deafening bark in your ear or this roaring sound of a boiling kettle. I don't fucking need that. Put yourself on mute.
And where we're back in the offices now, so we hybrid work. So where I work, the pandemic sort of pushed us into allowing us to sort of go between the two, which is great. I love the best of both worlds.
Gives you some flexibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, pros and cons to both, but do you know what? I enjoy it. When I am in the office, I mean, the microphones on our headsets or whatever we use are quite sensitive. So, obviously technology's quite good now. If you've got another department in front of you that going rah, 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 that's being picked up on the microphone.
Totally.
No one wants to hear that. Get in the seat.
I had that the other day, actually. I was in the office and someone was saying, sorry Alex, I can't actually hear you. Someone next to you having a really loud conversation. They weren't, of course, but microphones are so good these days. And the noise suppression obviously was thinking it was me, it wasn't the person next to me. So I had to move. So I had to move to a different part of the office. I was a bit at fucking home. You know what I mean? So yeah, 100%. Put yourself on fucking mute, because I don't need to hear you chomping your breakfast or your dog growling at a squirrel whilst you're out for a walk. Put yourself on mute and do your fucking work. That's my first one, Dan.
Yeah, no, I can get on board with that. It's the real nitty gritty now. Scalpers.
Yeah. So for those who don't know this term, there might be a couple of them out there. What is a scalper, Dan? And why do you know about them?
So, I mean, I've been sort of talking with the idea of getting a PS5. Okay, Sony's getting some good exclusives. I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play Miles Morales, the Final Fantasy VII remake. Because none of these are going to hit the Xbox One. No chance. So I've been sort of toying with the idea, and obviously they're still quite hard to come by. So you start looking at other avenues, and then you've got these people on the internet. They buy maybe 3 or 5 at retail price.
Yep.
Then they sell them for a big fucking profit. So, for example, you're looking at about £449 for a PlayStation 5 these days.
Yep.
They're selling them for 550, 600, maybe 750 quid.
And that's cheap. When originally released, it was double that figure.
Yeah. You're talking thousands.
And this is when, there was a global shortage, because of, I'm not sure if you're aware, Dan, but the reason why the console market struggled in the last 2 years because of the chips. It's difficult to make the chips because the chips are made out of materials where some mine in Africa has slowed down production. I think it's cobalt or something in them, which means that you can't get your graphics cards. So it affected the PC market. And scalpers are also then taking, like, I think the latest NVIDIA or Alienware graphics cards. You can tell I don't know too much about it, but it was affecting a lot of the gaming industry because these chips were in everything. And so those who get hold of them, you're right, would just hike up the price, because people like you and me would be so desperate to have a console or to want to be able to get involved, play games with your mates or have those experiences, that they were having to pay over the odds.
It's just insane. It's the same with CEX. There you go, they grind my gears. You can... as I mentioned,
that place ain't great, is it?
449 quid retail price, but they're selling 500 and something odd quid.
Yeah, that's criminal.
Scum and villainy.
Yeah, did we talk about CX before? It makes me think we have.
Potentially.
But it just seems so immoral that you walk past it and it's like a pawn shop, and you walk in and it just feels grimy, and you're just like...
It reminds me of cash converters.
Yeah.
From back in the day, like the 90s. That's where I used to go to...
Or Bright House, or any of those horrific places that just preys on people who haven't got perhaps the income but still have the inclination. And it's just, you go in there and that's where dreams go to die, man. CX is just it's devoid of fun. It's horrible.
I have been in there a couple of times, just sort of get rid of something, you know. Just if I'm not too worried, I'm just like, yeah, just go in, get rid of it, go on. But I feel like I need to have a good scrub in the shower when I get home. But I mean, it's not just like, I'm not talking about just games consoles, but you know, gigs. You know,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, tickets.
If you
resellers.
I remember as a youngster when I used to go to the Wedge Rooms to go to see some of the most popular bands of like the punk rock era. You know, you'd get a ticket for a tenner, which is fine. Like me and my cousin and whoever was going always rock up at the ticket office really early, say like a month or two before, get our tickets, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
But on the night, you'd always find these like fucking shady wankers out on the roads with their tickets, trying to sell them for like 2-3 times the price.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking bit of scum.
No.
Another classic example, saw it on Twitter a few weeks ago, just before the women's final.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, obviously football related. Someone's putting up 3 tickets at Wembley. Best offer. And of course, this person's going to sell those tickets to whoever gives her the most money. Just don't be a cunt.
No.
Fuck off. Fucking scalpers.
Get in the sea.
I've dropped it again, second time.
But yeah, it is immoral, right? Because they're obviously preying on people's need to have that thing. And actually, yeah, okay, no one's forcing them to buy it. I'm sure some of the listeners out there are thinking that, but it still is immoral to charge so much and know that there's actually a vulnerable person. Probably invariably they're vulnerable and they're going to pay over the odds for it. It's just that's not cool, man.
Nah. So that's it. That's my second one. Scalpers.
Bastards. Other people who are bastards. Now, I mentioned to you down at the beginning, and you to listener, that I've recently been on holiday. I'm really fortunate to be able to do this, by the way. I'm not saying it's anything other than a privilege. So I'm not moaning about that aspect. And actually, I had to get a couple of flights.
Yeah.
Invariably one there and one back. And on the flight out there, it wasn't long, about 50 minutes.
I think I know where this is going.
And it wasn't anything really to write home about, because before you know it, you're in the air, they walk around, they try and say some crap, and then you land. And as we landed, and we're about 20 seconds from the wheels touching the ground, there's this solitary clap that's behind me.
No.
And someone, I think there was a slight kind of muffled whoop clap.
No.
And then there was 2 or 3 that I think were in the same row. And I turned around to try and see the defending individuals to try and launch something at them, but they couldn't be located. But what compels someone to fucking clap as a plane? Its whole sole purpose, unless you're going through a shit ton of turbulence or you're doing something that you know is shady and you may not survive, why are you fucking clapping?
So you're telling me there was no turbulence, you had a nice flight,
smooth as a baby's bum, mate.
Nothing to threaten your lives.
Planes, perfect weather actually, because of course here in the UK, time of recording, we've had a heat wave. It's been lovely, as you said. The continent have done too in Europe. Not a cloud in the sky, not bumpy at all. The EasyJet pilot landed it wonderfully. It kissed the ground and then came to a lovely stop. Yet someone felt still compelled to clap that we'd landed.
Jesus. This is horrendous.
Now, the pilot can't hear that. He's between a bulletproof door. So it's 9/11, no fucker's getting in there unless he wants them to, and therefore he's not going to be able to hear it. Who are you clapping for? You're not clapping for the wonderful people who look after us in the cabin and keep us safe. Because they didn't fucking land the plane. And they've done it 4 times already before you've even got onto the plane. So who are you clapping for? Don't do it, Dan.
Just don't do it.
Stop fucking clapping. Because no one appreciates it. And yeah, alright, if you've had very bad turbulence, and as I say, if you're Tom Cruise and you're getting on a plane and you're strapped to the side and it looks like you're not going to make it, you may want to celebrate that you've got through a very bad time. But it wasn't any of those things, Dan. It was a normal short haul flight. Get over yourself and stop clapping.
This is your pilot, Alexander speaking. Please don't fucking clap.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that really grinds my gears, and it's happened in the last week. I'm due for, again, very fortunate, another short trip to Milan, and no doubt there's going to be some more dickheads in there. But you know what? I'm going to find something that I can throw, maybe a bottle of water, I don't know what it is, and I'm going to launch at them. And
yes, you should.
You may need to find a new podcast co-host, because I may be in Italian prison. But it's going to be worth it, because these people need to learn that clapping is unacceptable.
I haven't had it for a few years, to be fair. Maybe the early noughties when we used to go to Florida and you'd land where it was in muggy and everyone would be clapping on the plane. I'll be sat there and I'll be like, fuck off.
Yeah, why?
Doesn't happen really when I go to Ireland. I'll come back because we're miserable.
We are. Got another one.
Yeah.
Just come to me.
Go on.
Speedy boarding.
Speedy boarding?
What is that?
There's no point. Same with, this is Ryanair, right? So
is any of them? My one was EasyJet, but yeah.
Everyone pays for priority now.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck?
Well, this is my thing. So our flight was delayed. Not long, about half an hour, 45 minutes on the way home. It's very warm in the airport, and you've already got... And to be fair, look, this is coming from a heartfelt place, because I'm one of those people where you used to queue earlier before you should. And now with a child, you just can't do that. And actually, I've looked at these other sad people stood up for an hour queuing for something that's, invariably going to happen to all of us. I don't do it anymore. Anyway, and these poor people were queuing before the plane had even landed. I check the app on EasyJet, and you can see where it is on its journey. And it wasn't even circling the airport, and people were queuing to 150 people long. And they, sure enough, when they cut people off and they do a quick sweep and they clean it, or so clean inverted commas, and say, can these please ticket people come forwards, speedy boarding? And you're like, okay, fine. So these people paid what, an extra £6-10, whatever, to be a couple of people in front of you to get onto the plane first. But then because we were delayed, they ended up just waiting around, in the connecting tube. Which links to the plane. I don't know what it's called.
Don't
the corridor.
Get them with Ryanair, because it's just like you go out onto the tarmac and then you sort of queue up to go up the stairs.
Yeah, you're queuing anyway.
Exist.
But I guess my point is we were all queuing, and eventually I had to queue because they called us. All right, you may be 10, 15 people ahead of me, but that plane is not going to take off any quicker.
No.
So all they're doing is implementing a anxiety tax. That's all it is. You're anxious to get on.
Yeah, never thought of it like that.
But we're all queuing to get on, so actually it's no quicker. You've got your allocated seat, because that's what you do these days, not like a fucking bus. You have your allocated, so you know where you're going. You're probably going to have somewhere to store your luggage, which invariably is going to be nearby you, unless you've got loads of people around you who've got loads of carry-on bags. So why are you paying extra?
Yeah.
Why is it a thing? It's genius. Don't get me wrong. Like the companies behind it are phenomenal. Entrepreneurs and had great foresight to be able to tap into that. But it's just an anxiety tax.
Doesn't get you off the plane quicker though.
No.
So when the plane lands, again, this is something that grinds my gears. As soon as you land and the seatbelt light goes off,
they're off.
Everyone's fucking up.
Yeah.
They're all trying to get off at the same time. It's not going to happen.
There's no priority exit, is there? But it's just that's what I find really odd. But I mean, look, I don't do it because of those reasons. We're all going to leave at the same time. It's not as though you've got a priority to take off. So, yeah, odd. That grinds my gears because you're taking people's cash when actually there's no real value or benefit.
Bastards.
Arseholes.
Utter bastards.
So yeah, that was my second one, Dan.
I'm going to cover a little bit of old
2 and 3, but yeah.
I'm going to cover a little bit of old ground. So, social media. This came up last year. This is slightly different this year.
Question, just on that, put a pin on it. What's your relationship with social media now?
Love, hate.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my friends, actually, one of our regular listeners, Dan. I seem to go down these rabbit holes now, especially when we do a podcast. You have to sort of try and look at the positive and the negatives on, say, like She-Hulk, for example. It's really easy to go down the negative rabbit hole.
Isn't it?
It's horrendous, and I don't know why I keep looking because it's depressing. I fucking hate it. And then other times I look at social media, I love it. The amount of fun I can have in there, and the positivity that I can bring to it, and some other people, it's just I find it more negative now than probably more positive.
I think it really
is
is
a shame. It depends what you do with it, and as a human race, we're shit.
Just negative people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. There's some really heartwarming stuff on there. There's some really interesting, accounts I follow on Instagram, and some of the reels really do make you smile, and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit better this morning. And then you go on to a page on Facebook, and invariably you look at the comments and you go, this is so much hate. Hate, bile, bordering racism. You're like, what is this all about? Like,
yeah.
Surely this should bring, it obviously doesn't, but it should bring people together as a shared platform of a shared interest and a common place to share ideas and improve yourself. And that sounds really grand, I know, and wanky, but it's true. But people just use it just to moan and to bitch and to... it's horrible.
It's horrendous.
Yeah,
horrendous.
That's just my observation in the last probably 5 to 10 years. It's really challenging.
Yeah. I'll try and sort of give you the best of both worlds.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, what grinds my gears is that, as a football fan, I'm a Portsmouth Football Club supporter.
Someone's got to.
And there's a couple of questionable people out there. Okay, so they're probably trolls, best way to put it. A little bit annoying, but at the same time, playful and innocent would be my judgment of these people. I started speaking to one recently, and he's all right.
You spoke to a troll.
Is he annoying? Yeah.
Okay.
Is he annoying? Yes. But equally, when you sort of get...
Is under a bridge?
Oh, he may be. At the same time, sort of getting to know him in the background and sort of talking to him, he's actually all right. He sort of brushed it off. But he was telling me that people have now started to email his employer, trying to ruin his...
Oh, wow.
His career. And what happens when you ruin someone's career, and if they get sacked, they're going to lose their livelihood. They're not going to be able to feed their family, their kids, keep a roof over their head. I suppose my point is if you don't agree with someone, or if you find them annoying, just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Because you're not helping anyone by trying to jeopardise their livelihood. That's the most cuntish behaviour I can think of right now. Like, just don't do it.
There is a report feature for those reasons, or the police. There are now, at least in the UK, there are now powers where you can report these things and you can take control. It's not that there are keyboard warriors and you can't touch them. You can. It'll take a little bit longer, but it's traceable and people are accountable. But I agree. There's ways and means of going about it, and that's not cool. No, just don't do it. So if you see something negative, just try and keep scrolling. I mean, I can be a bit trolly sometimes. If I see something, I'm like, better call the ambulance. I have seen a couple of ambulances being called on your behalf.
It just brings a little bit of joy to my day, I suppose. Just these whiny, bitchy people, and I'm there just to bring someone else a little bit of joy by calling the ambulance or telling someone to get in the sea.
Yeah,
it's lovely. But I suppose on a more positive note with social media and like this is, you don't see it often. There was a disabled supporter. Okay, I can't quite remember where he lived, but this is where you don't underestimate the positivity of social media and what the Pompey family can do. For example, his taxi was going to cost him £200 to get to Fratton Park. Okay, someone set up a GoFundMe page to pay for this taxi, and it was smashed within about an hour plus.
Wow.
And it's the most heartfelt thing I've seen in a while.
Was he a Pompey supporter, or was he a away fan?
Yeah, he was a Pompey supporter.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice that the community have clubbed together.
Yeah, so I can't quite remember where he lived. So I know it must have been quite far away for that taxi to be £200.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see something positive come out of that. The fact that you can do something so nice for someone. Be more like that.
Yeah.
Spread the positivity. Stop being negative. And don't ruin people's livelihoods, because you're a cunt.
Yeah.
I've said the C word quite a lot now.
I like it. I like this swear it down. Lovely stuff.
I try to keep it clean for reviews and stuff. I'm like, say the F-bomb or what, but...
No, but you're dusting off the C-bomb.
The C-bomb's been dusted off. It's coming out a lot.
I love it. Well,
4 years of pent-up energy.
Easy.
I don't know how I didn't drop it last year, to be fair.
I think I dropped a couple.
Oh, you did?
Well, these people are a bunch of cunts. Dan, when you're walking, invariably, I'm really fortunate. Again, I'm really fortunate. I've got a job and I can be flexible, or because I'm working from home, and a lot of people can't, and then that isn't good. But we're fortunate we do have those opportunities. I do go out for, again, where we live, we've got a lovely seafront for us. Seaside town. It's lovely. And whilst we had the good weather, I'm managing to go out during my lunch break and stomp the pavements and go for a nice walk.
Got some lovely things around here. You got the Portsmouth Cathedral, got the Hot Walls,
you've got the
Island,
Garrison Church, you've got Gun Wharf. I tend to walk down and follow the seafront all the way down to the D-Day Memorial in Portsmouth. You can Google it, guys. It's a wonderful museum, actually, all about D-Day landings. It's not gratuitous. It's fairly based, but just gives a really good, accurate account of D-Day landings in 44. And then I walk back roughly 7,000-8,000 steps. That's not bad.
No, that's good.
It'll do. As I'm walking, there's also some other people. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to walk, and it's a really good thing to do. And I think the pandemic has brought out some really good behaviours and hobbies for people: outdoor living, outdoor moving, etc., and exercise. What really gets my fucking goat down are people who refuse to get out of your way when they're walking 3 or 4 abreast.
Oh, this grinds my gears.
You're with your friends, you're talking, brilliant, have natter. But don't force me into the fucking road or into the hedgerow, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm with my wife, with my son, or with family, or with friends, or with you, if someone's walking towards me, I will always drop back and make sure that I'm behind that friend, that individual, that family member, because I don't have any more right than anyone else to take up the pavement. This sounds really probably like fucking old person, but you know what I mean? Like, why should I have no other option than to meet oncoming traffic, risk my life because you can't get out of the fucking way? Because what, you're more important? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see me. I'm walking towards you. I'm not racing towards you. I'm keeping eye contact. Maybe that's the issue, is eye contact. But I'm keeping eye contact, so you know I'm there. But you deem me less worthy to be sharing the same space as you. And I'm either in the hedge or I'm in the road.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Move out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do people do that?
Do you know what? I can see my other half listening to this now, and
of course she has that issue with running.
Not just running, but just in general. We'll be on our way to work, and some of these pavements in Portsmouth are probably 2-person breadth.
Yeah.
And I'll always be like someone comes back in behind to let someone come past. But when there's 2 people coming on, or 3, whatever, because they're all joined at the hip apparently.
Yeah.
You're
conjoined or immediately conjoined.
Suddenly
not by medical science, but
grinding the wall or in the road. Just don't be a dick. Just be polite. It's 2 seconds out of your day.
I know, right? Like the older generation of people, right? I've always respected my elders, and they'll be like, fair play, whatever. Like, I will do it because I don't pick fights anyway. I don't remember the last time I had a fight, nor do I want to. But I'm not someone who seeks out an argument.
Nah.
And at some point you've got to go, you know what, pick your battles, respect my elders, whatever. But the vast majority of people are not that category, and you're like, what, why? Why? Get out of the fucking way. Be respectful. So again, it sounds like an old person rant, but don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Move the fuck over. That's what grinds my gears down.
Lovely. We're going for round 2 with e-scooters.
Ding, ding, ding.
Fucking e-scooters, right? So they're becoming more and more popular.
Are you not, though, tempted... Sorry for interrupting you, but are you not tempted to get one yourself? Do you not look at them and go... A bad riding aside, which is no doubt what you're going to reference, but do you not think they're a good transportation method, though?
I suppose in a sense, yeah. They'd probably... you're reducing, emissions and all that stuff by... moving around the city on these electric things. which is great. That's cool.
Legal mind at the minute.
I mean, you can get the legal ones, can't you, through the council? So they're dotted all over the place.
Yeah, you got to run them.
Voi, and I think London have similar now. Yeah, I think that in general, if you can use them properly, it's
good
fine.
concept.
Yeah,
Okay.
and obviously last year I moaned about almost taking out some prick on his e-scooter going around a roundabout because he just sped round, just shorts, t-shirt. If I'd hit him, he would have been dead. No helmet, shin pads, and all that stuff. Well, let's fast forward to last week on my way to Tesco to do my weekly shop.
Yes.
So you're probably familiar with Goldsmith Avenue.
I am.
So just to
not terribly picturesque, but yes, I'm familiar with it.
So just to give our listeners an idea of what Goldsmith Avenue looks like, it's 2 lanes. One takes you to Southsea and one takes you to Fratton. That's it. So 1 car per lane.
Good description.
Fine. And then you've got bike lanes on either side. So these bike lanes are marked as they're like green tarmac.
Yeah.
So I'm driving up, and there's this guy on his fucking e-scooter in the middle of the lane. And I've had to drop down to 20 miles per hour, whatever he's doing. And I've got it's a busy road. People going backwards and forwards. Why is he not using the bike lane? Why is he not coming across to let me go? Because it's a 30 mile per hour road, Alex.
He wants to die, Dan, that's why.
I'm creating traffic because of him. What is... I don't understand these people that use e-scooters incorrectly. Just get in the bike lane. Let me get past. Don't be a dickhead.
And I think I talked about this last time, but similar to that is... I'm not gonna open this can of worms to talk about bikes versus cars. That's not what I'm getting into. You can't do it on the road because physically you're not able to. The issue that I do have though is more in the mornings, I guess, when people are on commutes. Do you not sometimes find, Dan, that there's bike users in the bike lane, but invariably they've doubled up. They're with a mate or a friend or a colleague or someone they've noticed, and they're having a chin wag on a bike. Brilliant, sounds lovely, romantic even in the morning. But then one of them is spilling out of that lane, then into the road. Yeah, that's not what it's there for. If you want to have a natter, pull over, have a chat. But they end up taking up the road, and you've then got to overtake in the city, which isn't ideal, during the morning rush hour. Just like, why? Yeah, fuck off, stop doing it.
We have got a couple of rants in a minute about driving. It's going to be interesting. So something obviously to talk about. But yeah, e-scooters round 2. Just use them properly. Get in the bike lane, or just don't be in the middle of the road and don't speed around roundabouts.
Do as you're told.
Just do as you're fucking told. All right.
Fair enough. Gonna have this the other day when I was travelling back from the airport. Yeah. Used the train.
Yeah.
I like the train.
I like the train.
Good mode of transport. Bit expensive in this country.
Yeah.
Other countries, they're reliable and they're cheaper. But anyway, it's a lovely mode of transport. I got on the train from Gatwick. There's other idiots there with the cases too.
Of course.
This is not solely just with the school community, but there was some, I guess, college kids. They weren't young. They were in their own clothes. You could see they were in their late teens. They got on, sat down near us. Fine, cool. I don't have a problem with that. Everyone uses the train. Unless you're fighting and throwing stuff, fair play. Crack on. But then one of them cracked out their mobile and started watching videos and playing videos. So one says, "Oh, have a look at this," on full fucking volume. I'm like, why do I need to hear your shit? What do I just position my phone and I show the whole carriage my Disney collection, or what's on Paramount Plus, or Netflix? No, because no one cares, because you've got earphones. It's an interesting concept, Dan. There's these things, once you've seen them, you put them in your ear and you plug them into your device, and it's almost like you can listen and hear anything that you want, but only you have to listen to it. They're really good. I think they'll catch on. These dickheads didn't use them, and so the whole carriage had to hear something from YouTube, some shit that he wanted to show his mate. Fine, funny, ha ha ha, but he kept on doing it. Like, mate, turn off your fucking phone.
How long did it go on for?
About half an hour until they got off, and then they all got off the same carriage. But it's like, why? Like,
yeah.
but also people who have their music up so loud in their earphones that surely their eardrums must be bleeding. And you can hear the music, you can hear the lyrics, even though they've got their headphones on. Either you've got shit headphones, they're not obviously capturing the music, or you've got tinnitus around the corner. Because no way are you not taking those headphones off and not having ear damage. But you can hear the music. I'm like, why do I want to listen to your shitty music? Unless it's late noughties, 2000s garage, and it's Craig David, which is very niche. I'm not fucking interested in listening to your shitty music. I don't want to listen to your second-hand YouTube fucking video. I can't see, but I hear. Turn it off!
2 things about this grinds my gears.
That's mad.
Okay, so travel on the train. First one is when people are on their phone. Mm-hmm. Okay, but they're talking really loudly.
Oh yeah.
And what really fucks me off about that is that you can only hear one side of the conversation.
I know.
You can hear them talk to, I don't know, Deirdre.
If you get out of conversation, put it on loudspeaker. At least we can hear the conversation.
Exactly. I want to know what Deirdre's saying.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to hear your side of the conversation. I don't want to hear it at fucking 100.
No.
Fuck off. Go into a different carriage, or just wait until you're at your train station. Just don't want to hear
actively avoid the train having those conversations down because you've got no signal. In this country, it's shite.
It cuts out.
So you can't have a long conversation on the train, or a meaningful one, because it's breaking up.
I don't know how. I'm going back a few years now. Say a few years. About 4 or 5 years ago, it's just like pre-pandemic, and this woman's on the phone for like half an hour, like from Chichester back to Fratton.
Wow.
So I don't know how a
maybe on a satellite
signal
phone.
Did not cut out.
Jesus.
I mean, mine cuts out just going for a tunnel. You know, it goes from 4G to nothing, and then you sort of come back out and it's on E, and you're like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, don't know how that happens. And the second one, right, is again sort of talking about kids. They just have no respect. So
respect your elders.
Back in April, coming back, say from Gatwick into Fratton, and we get on, and some kids get on at some point. I'm sure it was like near Havant. And they're coming on, they're being fucking little dickheads, they're winding people up, they're going up and down the carriages, and it took one guy to stand up to them and go, if you don't get off this fucking train, I'm going to fucking punch you.
Wow.
I'm not even joking, I'm going to kill you, you are doing my head in. And then the guard came along, and he got transport police as well.
Oh wow.
So, teamwork there. They did get off a station early, but fucking well annoying.
Not all heroes wear capes, apparently.
No, just took one guy, and I tell you, his mate was in stitches, trying to calm him down, but this guy was. I'm pretty sure he was going to kill him.
Wow.
These kids, yeah, 100%.
Blood on the train.
But yeah, I'm totally with you on trains.
There's just no need for it, though, is there?
Yeah, no, exactly. So don't play your music loudly. No. Don't have loud conversations with the other person on your mobile, because we want to hear the other side.
Yeah, 100%.
And
like in school, if you're passing a note around and the teacher sees us, says, right, do you want to share with the class what that note is? Obviously you don't want to, but you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to talk that loud, you've got to fucking put it on loudspeaker so we can hear it.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Gear grinding.
Yeah. Fuck off.
Right, my next one. Casuals. And you're probably thinking, damn, what do you mean by casuals? Now I'm talking about these people, right? So we're both comic book fans.
Yes.
Okay, so we read a lot of Marvel books, and that's fine.
I read last night. I've really got to stop interrupting you, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
The Ultimates.
Oh, yes.
It's a lovely comic book run.
It's like an Ultimate Universe, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's the Avengers. I don't know, I bought this now about 15 years ago when I went to Sydney. I went to the comic book shop. King's Comics. If anyone's in Australia and knows it's Sydney, is King's Comics still there? Because it was amazing. It was there. You had like the statues and the floor to ceiling racks, and it was a wonderful place in the city centre. Wonderful book, The Ultimates. Quite a dark take on the Avengers origin story, because it's the Ultimates world, but lovely artwork, and it was Samuel Jackson drawn before he was cast. And they were there's a section there where they talk about, who would you be cast as if you didn't make a film about us? And they said that Sam Jackson. It's like, it was so spot on. Anyway, wonderful book. So if people are looking for a different take on the origins, similar ilk, but you got Ant-Man in there, you got Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp. So there's different kind of lineups. do give it a read, because it still looks and reads wonderful today.
Ultimate Spider-Man is supposed to be really good as well.
Oh, it is. I've got a couple of editions.
Just doesn't. Spoiler alert. Peter Parker carks it in that universe.
He does. He comes back eventually, of course, as they all do. But yeah, and that's where it sparks then Miles Morales.
Yeah,
and that's how in the Ultimate Miles Morales, that's a really good, because the Goblin actually isn't a guy in a glider with a mask.
It's a proper fucking goblin, isn't it? Big hench bastard.
He's basically the Hulk, but on flames and spiky. Norman Osborn takes some super soldier serum and ends up not becoming deranged and, as I say, taking technology, but actually becomes super powered and massive. And actually, it's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a lot of love for the Ultimate stuff. And actually, I wonder whether, because they've got the multiverse now, they're going to end up maybe considering rebooting parts of it, because
could be done.
The Ultimate versions are just, you could have a new Iron Man.
Yeah, 100%. New Cap.
It's lovely stuff. Anyway, sorry, yes. Casuals and comic books, yeah.
So casuals. So let's just talk about social media again for a moment. It's like when She-Hulk was announced, or Ms. Marvel.
I see where we're going.
Why do we need more female superheroes? Why have we got a female Hulk?
Yeah, they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Why is She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall? She's been doing it since 1989 in the comics, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
Do you not read any? No, I'm not sort of strict on like being a comic book reader. I sort of accept that, you know, the MCU and the films are just a different way of storytelling. You can't cram an entire run of comics into a series. It's just not possible. You know, we've talked about Harry Potter. You can't cram all the books into a 2-hour film. It's just not going to happen. So I accept everything for what it is. So firstly, don't try and jump on this bandwagon and follow the sheep of going, why do we need... Because they're now diving into a whole series of comic books and characters and all this lore from years and years
decades
of writing. And the second one, right, went to Forbidden Planet in London when we had the Chukes over. The Chukes being my other half's family for our listeners, because no one's going to know who the Chukes are.
They aren't, no.
Went to Forbidden Planet and it was Ramo.
Oh, right.
Do you remember as a kid, right, if you went to a comic book shop, it would always be a bit dead. There was always a couple of nerdy people, and you could just
dark and dingy. There's corners. There's a odd person rifling through a couple of pages, but yeah, it's a quiet place usually.
It was heaving, Alex. People just piling in there, looking at these graphic novels. Oh, I don't know what to buy.
How dare they?
Yeah, and they're clearly people that have gone, I like that on the films and the TV and all that. I'm going to try and see what I can get into with the comics. I mean, cool, alright, you've done that, but you're taking up my space, mate.
Get out.
A purist. I said to my other half, Claire, like, we'd walk around and it was awful. It was really hot in there as well, so they've got 2 floors in the Leicester Square Forbidden Planet.
Right, I think I've been there once years ago.
It was just hot. It was a hot day as well, so it was hot, it was sweaty, it was sticky. We tried to walk around. I said to her, and I went, I remember when this shit wasn't cool.
It was better then.
It was better back then, you know. I'm talking about the 90s. Talk about the 90s for a moment in comic books. Did you ever remember the Tricorn?
I wasn't here for the Tricorn in Portsmouth, no.
The Tricorn was like just this like brutal, ugly looking thing in the heart of
it's concrete
city
structure, wasn't it? Yeah.
But back in the 90s, on the top floor, there was this wonderful comic book shop called Mondo. And it was amazing. To be a kid, you got up there, like, the staff were fantastic. They had amazing figurines that, like, you know, your friends weren't ever going to get in Toys R Us. And just like the knowledge and like having access to all of that stuff. And this is like before comic books used to get like absolutely like crammed. It's obviously like picked up in popularity now because of the MCU and, well, I don't know where DC are going, but
who does?
But yeah, casuals, they wind me up. I know that's a bit, it's me being a bit nitpicky and a bit personal. I mean, good for you. You've decided to pick up comics, but if you're going to be one of these people that goes, oh, why do we need this, that and the other, do your research. Get on the internet, find out why She-Hulk's breaking the fourth wall and when she's been doing it since. Otherwise, fuck off.
Yeah. Do some reading. Fair enough, Dan. Okay, so this might be actually quite similar to what you just mentioned about Forbidden Planet.
Ooh.
And this, I guess, is anyway. I'm not a massive personal space kind of person, so I appreciate if people got to get close to me, or people have got to or bump into me. I'm not going to say, "Why the fuck are you touching me?" I understand sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah.
Or you got to be in close proximity to someone. Obviously, since COVID, that ain't a thing, or it's not really, although people forget it. And I think there's only one time, and I would have said something anyway. I was in a queue in a local shop around the corner, queuing up for get some milk or something. And this person, this was in the height of COVID now, so local restrictions in the UK and in Hampshire. A metre and a half, 2 metres of space, and there's fucking stickers on the floor. And this person just rocked up, stormed in, I think he even jumped the queue, and then was almost breathing down my fucking neck.
Ugh.
And I turned around, gave him a look, not a rude one, but still a stern one, and I said, "Can you give us some space, please?" As in, move back the fuck up. He looked at me like I'd asked him to drop his pants and show me his cock. He was incredulous why I was even talking to him, or let alone why I'd ask him to move away. But he was even encroaching my personal space outside of this COVID world we now live in. And I guess that's kind of where it stems from, is people not having the awareness that you don't necessarily want to inhabit the same space as them. And since then, and like or lump it, we've got to live with this situation, and it's not the same. So I have relaxed. We're in the same room as each other. We've both had it. We talked about it before. We'll have it again. It's one of those things, sadly, that we're now going to have to kind of live with. So I don't have kind of the same outlook in terms of that need to have that personal space, but I also don't need people to be so close to me I can feel their breath on my neck. Fuck off. Take a step back. Why do you have to be so close? Unless you're pickpocketing me, fair enough, but you're not going to find nothing, because who has wallets or cash in their pockets anymore? And I've got my phone in my hand, so get your hands out of my pockets. Like, unless you're those people, you've got no right to be anywhere near me.
No.
So fuck off, give me some space.
I'm sort of quite conscious of that now anyway, so I'm much more relaxed than, when we had the restrictions. I don't wear a mask anymore. I go shopping. If I do see someone with a mask...
Licking door handles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I see someone still wearing a mask, I'll say they are far and few between now, but if I do, I give that person that
respect
space.
Them, yeah, 100%.
It's just a bit of respect. You don't get up in their face and breathe on them while they're like trying to get their fucking chicken out of the fridge. Just be patient, wait, and then you go and get your chicken.
Exactly. Everyone have time to get their chicken.
I mean, unless you're a vegan, tofu or falafels.
I'll have a go at vegans in just a minute. But yeah, guys, have some self-awareness. Give that person some space. I'm not talking your 2 meters. I'm not talking COVID restrictions. I'm just saying normal common decency. No one wants someone, literally, you can feel their presence. They're that close. I'm not touching you, but they're that close. Fuck off.
Just no need for it.
Back the fuck up.
My next one. I mean, I suppose you could just tie this into the cost of living crisis that's happening right now in the UK. Price hikes.
Yeah.
I mean, firstly, it started off with Virgin Media. Why is it, right? As a loyal customer, why does my bill have to go up every year?
There's no loyalty.
But when you're a new customer, they'll do it for 20-30 quid. What the fuck is that? And then you have to call them up, I'm going to leave. And we'll drop it down to this price.
Yeah, you've got to play this. You've got to play this game, haven't you? Where you're dancing around, and they know that you're not going to want to leave, but they're like, no. You have to tell me you're going to leave, and you've got to threaten it in order for me to give you something that you're probably owed as much as someone who's coming off the street.
But then that person can't do it. I can't bring the price down anymore. I'm going to pass you on to the retention team. And then you're on to someone else, and they go, we'll do it for 20 quid for you. And you're like, that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
It's fucking expensive.
An honest price for a little bit of loyalty.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean, I'm not a moaner, you know. I was quite comfortable on my salary, and obviously with everything going up in price now, it's starting to get harder. You've got to try and claw back what you can, so you can go out to the pub and see your mates, or go to Stag Really Good and have a pizza and a beer, you know.
Or go and see your favourite film a couple of times.
Exactly. I know it's only a £5 to the view, but then, you know, that £5 is probably being soaked up somewhere. Well, I mean, petrol,
food, energy.
It's just ridiculous at the moment. It is insane. And you've got all these top dogs at the top of these companies going, well, I've made 4 million in bonuses this year. Right? You fucking prick.
Yeah.
And I'm just sat at home, make sure I don't turn on a light bulb because I'm going to get charged 60 quid like your meme the other day.
Yeah. But I mean, there are legitimately, and there will be people who have to consider what food they eat or how warm they're going to be this winter.
I know, it's insane.
That's not cool, man.
No.
And as you say, there's some people who are still there at the top, creaming off millions of pounds worth of bonus. I'm not talking about, you know, their take home, which they're probably on a lot of money, and fair play, they've had careers to justify, or the value they give to the company justifies it. But bonuses, this is over and above. And in the situation that we are, where millions of people are facing real struggling times, these people are just, oh yeah, I'll just buy my next yacht. What? Like, how can that
insane.
Be just so disjointed? It's from society. It's crazy.
It's just mental, and it grinds my gears. You know, you see these people living lives of luxury because they've just had their £4 million bonus, and I'm scraping by. It's just insane. I know we've sort of recently had a salary increase, but it doesn't hit the same level as inflation. It's still a struggle, and yeah, I'm quite fearful for my 90-year-old grandparents this year, because how the fuck are they going to eat as well as keep the house warm?
They ain't got those bonuses to fall back on.
No. And what's even more ridiculous, they'll get taxed on their pensions before it hits their bank.
Yeah.
Insane. That's another thing that grinds my gears.
Bastards.
We work all our lives to get our pensions.
Double taxed.
And double taxed.
You tax once, you put money away, and they get you again.
Fucking tax, man.
Yeah.
Wanker. Yeah, that's it. Cost of living crisis. Keep it nice and easy. I won't rant anymore. There's enough of it going on at the moment.
Absolute fuckers. My final one before I've got some from the listeners down.
I've got one more after this.
Beautiful.
And then plenty of listeners to get through.
In a trip in London, I love London. This is not a London rant, by the way, and it's not specific for London. This is my anecdote that I share with you. But London's a lovely place. In small doses. I could never live there, Dan.
No, I couldn't. Definitely not. It's too busy for me.
Yeah,
Bit
quite
too
dirty
much
as well.
hustle and bustle.
But I do like going there in small doses. Anyway, I went to London for the weekend and went to Covent Garden. I love Covent Garden.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I love
beautiful,
that place.
isn't it?
Lots of niche little businesses
100%.
and
lovely vibe.
Restaurants.
Especially the actual market area, the central part. And I went to Seven Dials. Been to Seven Dials Market?
No.
You might know it's here, but it's like an indoor food hall. It's lovely, and pop-up stalls and everything. It's a wonderful place. If you haven't been down, or our listeners, and you're going to London, go to Seven Dials. If we ever go together, I'll take you there. And there is a business that's just outside or inside, but it's just on the peripherals, and it's I won't say the company, although if they would like to support us, then that'd be lovely. But they sell tea, chai masala tea. Now I fucking love a chai masala. I love Indian cuisine. I love Indian culture. I've been to India a couple of times. I'm very fortunate to be able to do so. I've got some colleagues I work with from India. Basically what I'm saying is I fucking love India, and I love an Indian chai masala, which is lots of spices. I couldn't even tell you what's in them, but it's lots of spices, milk based, and that's the key bit here. So I thought I'll have a chai masala. I fancy something a little bit warming, spicy, bit creamy, delicious. So I walked up to to a lady and said, "Oh, I'd like actually I'd like an oat milk chai masala, please." Okay. Oh, you want the vegan chai masala? No, bitch. I said oat milk.
Did you? I was going to say, did you literally say no, bitch?
But her demeanour, she may have accepted it. Anyway, no. I did say no oat milk, please, because I didn't know they were one and the same. Because it says up there, it says oat milk chai masala. No, that's the vegan one. Fucking fine. Give me a vegan cup of tea, but it's oat milk. Why are you imposing veganism on me? Look, fine. If you're vegan, fine. You'll often find though that if you're in the company of a vegan, they'll tell you you're vegan before you need to actually know for whatever reason. I'm not a vegan. I have no issues with people being vegan, and actually it's quite an honourable way of life. It's not easy. A lot of companies these days, restaurants, bars, cafes, do cater for that dietary requirement.
Yes.
And but before then it was quite difficult to get it. So I understand it's a labour of love.
I find you find it more in sort of small, local, independent restaurants now, as opposed to sort of like the big fast food chains. But
100%.
Yeah. And in defence of this podcast, I do meat-free Mondays.
And we try and do a couple of veggie meals a week as well.
Yeah.
For the same reasons, no doubt, to cut down on CO2 emissions and farm animals and the rest of it.
Yep, no, exactly.
So I'm 100% behind that, Dan, and yeah, it sounds like we're aligned. But I'm not fucking vegan. So if I ask for oat milk, don't tell me I'm having a vegan cup of tea, because I'm not. Call it fucking whatever you want, but it's oat milk. I'm not fucking vegan. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's alternative milk beverage. I'm not a vegan. I've got no issues if someone wants to mislabel me. I'm not, I'm nothing like that. But don't call me a vegan. It's fucking oat milk. I like my meat. I just decided I wanted something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So fuck off. Make me a cup of tea. And it's delicious. It was delicious. They again, because I've moaned about them, albeit tongue in cheek, right? I don't want them to be upset with me if they ever got to hear this. But if you look them up, chai masala, in 7 Dials, you'll know who they are, and they do home kits. Now they're not cheap, but it's well worth it. So if you like a bit of chai masala, they know their stuff. They give you the mix. It's worth taking a look if that's up your street. But if you ever go to London, I can hugely recommend it. In the summer, in the spring, in the autumn, in the winter, it doesn't matter. They make some wonderful tea. So go give them a look. It's wonderful stuff.
I might have to.
But I'm not fucking vegan. Oat milk, motherfucker.
Last up for me, it's nice and simple.
Yes.
But it really bugs me. Okay, we've all got like our own little group chats amongst friends, right?
We do.
Really pisses me off when people put something into the group chats with no context.
Got an example? One recent one?
So I'm not going to name him because bless him, he's just such a ding-dang delight. However, every now and again, he'll take a picture of something, it'll be slightly blurred, where he's tried to take it quite quickly, and he'll post it, but there's no context to it. There's not, well, this is what's happening right now, or this is what I'm doing. It's just a picture. It just leaves you all hanging, and we're all like, yeah, what's going on? Are you going to explain? And every now and again, I've got a bit that goes, so
what is
hashtag
this?
no context, what's going on? And then he'll be like, oh yeah, right, this is what I'm doing.
Oh right.
So you didn't think to tell us when you took that blurred picture? Come on, man. It's simple.
Maybe he had a desired effect though. If he keeps on doing it, maybe he wants to have someone to say, oh, what's he up to?
Wow.
Bit of mystery.
The only desired effect he's going to get is being chucked off fucking Sal Parade Pier into the fucking sea.
Getting chinned. What was he doing out of interest in the most recent one?
I actually can't quite remember, to be honest. I think he works in the armed forces. I think he was off somewhere.
Oh, right.
I think he was going parachuting or something.
As you do.
He does all sorts of cool stuff, as you do in the armed forces.
Get to see the world.
Exactly. He's being put onto a boat next year. Terrifying, but I think he's going to do well. He's a good lad.
Navy?
Yeah.
Wow. Good on you. But yeah, no context messages.
Yeah, nice and simple. If you're in a group chat, and if you're going to post something, just at least put a bit of context to it.
Tell us what it's all about.
Really bugs me.
There we go. So we've got quite ranty so far, and we've got quite similar ones down. And hopefully, listener, you recognise perhaps some of those, and if you don't, let us know. And say what are you guys on about? That's very niche. But we put the feelers out in the last couple of weeks, and
we did.
I said at the beginning, Dan, you guys did not disappoint. So I've got a couple, you've got a couple. Should we run through what people have written in?
Yep, let's do it. First up, we've got Gemma. People who continually use you as childcare and then forget to offer to help you when they know you are struggling. And she also put patios that burn your feet.
What's that?
Patios that burn your feet.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, obviously in the heat wave, it's been quite warm, and I sort of notice it every now and again. Where if I'd go out to hang out the washing, I mean in this heat, I don't want to wear shoes or socks. I'm going barefoot, motherfucker.
I'll tell you what is good for this situation. Flip flops.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, I made the mistake one day. I went out, I burnt my feet.
Oh.
So I'm hopping, scooching across the bloody patio. I got in and out all right. It's fine, but I still burnt my feet. But I get it. I mean, I can't comment on the childcare thing. I don't have kids.
At least there's not as far as you're aware.
Yeah. Don't tell cheeks.
No.
I mean, can you add anything to that? Have you ever been in a position where...
No, we're not really in a situation where you can reciprocate with anyone. But we always try and say thank you, take someone out for dinner, or pay for a night away or something if they invariably people do you a solid or more regularly. So hopefully I can't identify, but maybe I'm that person, Dan. Maybe that's what they're moaning about. Maybe Gemma's moaning about someone like me and I don't know about it. But no, I can understand that people perhaps I think more broadly take more than they give.
Yeah,
those people always out there, aren't they?
Some people take the piss, but yeah, I can't comment on that, unfortunately. So no kids that I'm aware of. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna dump your kids on someone, at least return the favour and look after their kids in return.
Yeah,
just be nice.
Reciprocate.
Next up, we've got Kelly and Paul, who we had on the show last year. It grinds my gears when people constantly ask us for favours, freebies to help their businesses. But if we say no to anything, they make out like we're the unreasonable ones. Like Paul should turn down a paid night at work to do their freebie instead. And if we ask them to help us in any way at all, we get sorry, but we have our own business to run, so we can't justify doing a discount for you.
Oh, go figure.
Oh yeah, sure, you can't do us a discount, but enjoy promoting your business with all the free photos we spent week doing for you. I think she might have got a bit angry there, because that doesn't really make a lot of sense towards the end. Or maybe I'm just mincing my words.
Or drunk.
Oh, and then also, yeah, probably I'm going to blame the red wine.
Yeah.
It also grinds my gears when my cat pukes on my research.
Oh.
So again, people sort of not helping each other out. Just be nice to each other.
Be nicer.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier, weren't we? So Warfare, we were saying like Joey did a lot of work for us. He did our graphics for social media.
It's a good egg.
Etc. Logos. And, we offered him money. We said, like, how much do you want? We're reasonable people. And he said, no, don't worry about it, lads. And we sorted him out. We got him some beers. And even when we did take him out for beers, he wanted to buy beers, and we were like, no, we're getting you the beers because you've done us so many favours.
And this is, again, not to bore you down, but we talked about this off air, and how I saw something on social media, and it kind of reminded me, not that I go about asking people for stuff anyway, quite the opposite. But actual fact, for your friends who've got businesses, actually, you should be buying and probably paying a little bit more to help out your friends and their businesses. Not asking because you know them, could they give you a freebie, because that's not how it works.
No.
You're not helping them; they're helping you. But invariably, they need your help either to promote or to help put money on food on the table. So don't ask for freebies, or make sure it's reciprocal. Help each other out. Don't just expect free shit.
Yeah, and can't help with the cat there. Cats are arseholes. The end.
Cats are arseholes.
Next up, we got Dan. He says streaming services. Far too many of the things. Stranger Things, Netflix. Ted Lasso, Apple. Marvel, Disney. Grand Tour, Amazon. South Park, Paramount. Cutting the cord off cable was meant to be bold and cost effective, not opening the door to having pay way more than when we did before. Gets right on my wick. Might be time to dust off my old Jolly Roger.
What's the Jolly Roger?
I think he's put a little pirate flag next to it, so I think he's
okay.
Talking about something a bit dodge.
Okay. Gaining access in other means. This is an interesting one. So recently, at the time of recording, Avatar 2 is round the corner.
Yeah,
due out soon. Autumn, October, November. I think they've probably got their eyes on the Christmas top spot. Long awaited, of course, sequel. Disney have unceremoniously binned off the first one from the streaming service without notifying. You know how a lot of the streaming services, as I say, Netflix, I think Prime do it, and they say this is what's leaving this week or this month.
Yeah,
giving you advance notice about how they're going to refresh the stock and the rest of it. Disney just got rid of Avatar 1 because I think it's being re-released in some cinemas.
Yeah.
And it makes people want to, I guess, buy the digital copy because they want to get ready for the second film. And it's caused some noise and stir on the internet. Now, of course, as we've already ascertained, people moan about everything on the internet anyway. But it does make you think that actually, at a drop of a hat, anything can go without any little warning. And you have got all of these subscriptions which you kind of pay for that content on demand. You don't own it. That's the whole point. But then you should also expect some kind of heads up because you pay for that item to be available to you.
Yeah.
And it's thrown up kind of an interesting kind of dynamic between, as who was it that wrote in?
That was Dan.
Dan said, it is supposed to be cost effective, and yet, we're triplicating, quadrupling instead of one set-top box.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I've got Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon. Although me and my other half go halves on Disney, and I pay for Netflix, she pays for Prime. So it's a lot of money.
It
and
is.
then you say I've moaned about earlier, Virgin Media, and you're paying for that as well. It's
a lot. It's a lot of bank.
I mean, I could just bin off Virgin Media and I'd happily live off Netflix. And watch Stranger Things over and over again.
Yeah,
on season 2 of that, by the way. Now
there was a misstep in season 2, often maligned. You'll know about it when you come towards the end. It won't spoil it, but I won't mention it because you may get to that part of the story and it's character development apparently. But it feels a little bit weird when they diverge from the main storyline. But that's the only kind of, I think, blip on what is really some stellar writing by the Duffer Brothers.
Took me a little while to get into it, so I got my other half into it as well.
Oh, good.
So she's on board, so we're watching it together now. So I watched the first 4 episodes, couldn't quite get the hype. Got to episode 6, and I thought, oh, okay, so this is what it's all about. Ding dang light.
Yeah.
Looking forward to getting my teeth into season 2.
It only gets better.
So yeah, little segue there. Next up we've got Zach. He says Sky Sports News generally.
Oh right.
Didn't say why it grinds his gears, but I mean Soccer Saturday shite now. Got rid of all the good people. Kind of get it. Next up we got Claire. She says people who keep taking pictures of the temperature. We all know it's hot, damn it.
We do.
I mean, of course we had the heat wave, but it's the same fucking plebs, right? That when it snows, they're out their window taking pictures and putting up on Facebook going, oh, look, it's snowing. Yeah, mate. Not like I haven't got a fucking window either. I can fucking see that white shit coming down, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
No one.
The weatherman's telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
So I get it. It's fine. Don't share the weather.
No.
We can all see it, feel it, and goddamn, we were melting this week. Wow.
You're not a meteorologist, so just don't do it.
Next up, we've got Claudia. Now, this is an interesting one. Grumpy fans. I know we've sort of touched on, casuals that really annoy us. This is a more interesting take. The kind that will binge watch a show in 2 days, then moan it was rubbish or didn't go how they wanted it to. I feel seen right now. Most recently, Lock and Key. The subreddit is toxic. Just stop watching it. You don't like it. Hashtag ran over.
Lock and Key's an interesting one. I loved the first season. Have you seen it?
I did start trying to watch it and then never really went back to it.
It's a bit slow. It's a great concept.
I do need to revisit it, I think.
It's based on the comics. I think that is it from Image? It's one of them, or Dark Horse. It's a graphic novel series. The first season was slow to get into, but it had a really promise and it had a great storyline. Second season, I really struggled to get into, and I haven't finished it. I don't know if it's been renewed for season 3. So I can kind of relate, but yeah, I mean, why spend all that time and then absolutely clearly there was something there that you wanted. There must be something that you enjoyed.
Yeah. No,
where's the balanced opinion, Dan?
I mean, this is what we do as a podcast, right?
Yeah.
So when we do a review, okay, there were things that we didn't enjoy, but we try to shit sandwich that bastard. We give a positive. If there's a negative, we put it in the middle, and then we end with a positive. Or at least try to, anyway. If it was shit, it was shit.
Yeah.
And we'll be honest, and we'll tell you why it's shit. But I get it. This thing is, it's with any fandom. Whether it's Marvel, football, or your favourite Netflix show, there's always going to be someone that moans it.
Yeah.
I mean, Cobra Kai. Oh my god, have you seen the new trailer for that?
I haven't. I need to. I know it's out.
Oh my god, it looks a bit special. I was sick in my pants.
Oh, gross. But expected.
Anyway, moving on. I've just completely ruined this episode. Next up we got Joel. What about the pricks at the roundabout who decide, even though their exit is blocked, to rather than wait, drive across and block everyone else from getting around?
Yeah.
That grinds my gears.
Selfish.
So we've covered it all now, I think, on road users. We've done e-scooters, bikes, and now cars.
The holy trinity of arseholes.
Talking about waiting, right? The other thing that really bugs me. So I learnt how to drive in my late 20s. And one thing I've always sort of stuck by that I learnt is, like, when you're coming up to some traffic lights where people cross, obviously, rather than let the traffic sort of build up, and some people will sit there until the lights go red, and then you've got to walk around that fucker's car because you can now cross. Just give that space. It's courtesy. So if there is traffic and I'm coming up to traffic lights, I'd leave that space where that walkway is. Yeah,
because it's a law.
But it does my head in. If I'm the pedestrian and I've got to cross and your car's in my way, I'm crossing, motherfucker.
Oh no, 100%.
I've got to get from A to B. I ain't got no time to mess around. And you're going to wait for me.
That's right. Or you're going to be road meat.
Wow, yeah. I mean, let's hope they don't mow me down.
No.
Because if I do survive, I'm going to sue them.
You'll leave a dent.
Yeah.
Not good.
No. Next up we got Chris. He says goal music.
Oh, right.
And I'm talking about those fucking teams, right? When your team scores a goal, not Portsmouth because we're decent, we don't have goal music.
No.
It's these
Professional.
It's these twats that will play goal music. It's always the same song they score every week. I think Borussia Dortmund do it in Germany.
Okay.
It's the it's not cool. It's not cool. Don't do it.
It doesn't sound good because you can't really hear it properly because the little old speakers are just tinny. It's quite an old kind of concept, isn't it? Like I didn't even do it in like some of the lower leagues. I remember back in the day, they probably don't do it anymore. When I went to go and see Liverpool and Forest, I think Forest had it, not in Forest. I'm like, or even Coventry. Like, guys, just like, what is this? This is like the 80s.
I take it Liverpool don't have goal music.
No.
I wouldn't really sort of... Don't
No,
much
we
sense to
clap
Premier
and
League.
cheer, we swear at the opposing side like everyone else does when they score, but there's no music.
And sing You Never Walk Alone.
It will set the hairs up on the back of your neck when you hear it. It's just phenomenal. Regardless of whether you like football, regardless of whether you support Liverpool or not, when you have 20,000 whatever people all singing the same song at the beginning of the game, and actually invariably you usually have like 45,000 people because some of the away fans sing as well, because it's a well-known song by Joe and the Peacemakers. It's just amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's a goal music, not cool.
No.
Last up from me is Luke. He got very angry, by the way. So people saying Madri is a god tier beer. Fuck off, it's beer Moretti in a pretty dress.
Oh, right.
I mean, I've drunk both. I prefer beer and Moretti. Madri's alright. But in my opinion, as a craft beer hipster snob, they're not god tier beers.
No.
Sorry.
No, they're actually quite mainstream now, aren't they?
Yeah. They're a nice cold, refreshing beer when it's hot.
Yeah.
And that's it for me, really. Toto is a god tier beer. Star of Pramen. Czech beer.
Yeah, old
delicious.
School. Yeah, it is. It's very
fantastic
nice.
beer. So.
Or original Budvar, but from Pump in Czech Republic. Budvar is lovely.
But if you want my god tier beer, Little Arms Big Ambitions from Staggeringly Good. Love that. Wonderful IPA. Fruity, juicy, hoppy. Perfect. Next he says, fuckers at roundabouts. Again, this was from a group chat, so he's linked on from Joel. Fuckers at roundabouts who want to go straight over, but the left-hand lane is busy, so they shoot down the right-hand, right turn only lane, and then cut people up. In the sea, you fucks.
Yes, I've seen those people do it, and I've also seen other road users deny access to those individuals as they try and get back in. And I don't know who's right in that scenario, because you should really let people in, but
just
what they've done. They're trying to cut you up.
Just be a bit courteous, I think, if you've got someone trying to cut you in, but first hand they should be doing it anyway. And lastly, he says Joey fucking Barton.
Yeah.
Anyone unfamiliar with Joey Barton? He was a scummy little prick player that played for, I think he played for Man City and Newcastle.
He was always getting fined when he always had red cards. He was quite a nasty bastard.
He's just a vile character.
Yeah.
I recall him raking his studs down one of our players' legs back in the day when he played for City. I think off the field he did some nasty things, so he stubbed out a cigar on someone's face, if I recall.
Charming.
Battered one of his teammates in the dressing room. He's just not a nice person.
No.
And at the weekend, we played Bristol Rovers, who he manages, and he was no better then. One of his players broke one of our players' legs. Post-interview, didn't acknowledge anything. If it had been our manager Danny Cowley, he would have said, hope this player makes a speedy recovery. He'd probably be the first person at the hospital. Joey Barton, nothing, nada. He was ripping into the Cowleys, moaning about how playing the 4-4-2 formation is shit.
Of course.
Well, we beat you 3-1, you fucking prick. Fuck off. I cannot wait till we play Bristol Rovers away, and he will have hell on earth when our fans rock up and give him some stick. So that's Joey Barton.
Wow.
In a nutshell, he's just a nasty little cunt.
Yeah.
That's it from my side, Alex. You got some listeners?
I don't know how I follow up with that. So yes, we had Jackie first up for me, and she said, "Old men with yellow crusty toenails, put them away." So guess what? With the summer, comes
flip-flops,
the shorts, the flip-flops, the summer weather. Sadly, some people haven't looked after perhaps arguably some of the most important parts of their body, which is what you stand on, what you move around on. And apparently there's some old men around who probably need to attend to those digits on your feet and have the crusty toenails.
It can be a bit of a battle with some of these things. I mean, there's all kinds.
Talking from personal experience, or
no, definitely trying to get rid of toenail fungus is a challenge sometimes. It can come back to haunt you as well, but
it
is a challenge.
But you can treat it, right?
Oh yeah, it's treatable. You get things on the shelves,
Get it sorted.
pharmacies. There's all kinds of like home remedies you can use, like tea tree oil. There you go. There's a tip. Vic, apparently, the chest rub. You can use that on there as well. That kills off fungus.
Lovely.
So, little tips for the internet from me, as a personal experience. But I get it. I'm always quite conscious anyway. If I have it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go out wearing flip flops because people don't need to see my manky feet anyway. I think feet in general are quite
no one
gross.
should see feet, probably. So I think Jackie's talking from seeing a couple of people who probably should have a little bit more self-care.
Yeah, 100%.
Unlike you, Dan, who does look after yourself.
I'll try.
We've all got to. Second one up is queue jumpers, Dan. Now, we love queues in the UK. We've talked about this before. We love a good queue. We like the etiquette. It gives us form and structure, and we all feel comfortable that we know what we're doing.
It's like being at a theme park. I'm going to queue up for this roller coaster. I'm going to wait an hour to get on it.
But there are people who decide that they don't want to do that. They don't want to play ball. And they're better and bigger than you, apparently. And it's an interesting one, because if you go to other countries, they don't have perhaps that same kind of value in social etiquette. You've been to Asia before. I've been to Asia a couple of times. And there are cultural differences, and one of them is queuing. It's not a thing in certain Asian countries. And it's really difficult to kind of navigate that, because you're now playing by their rules, but there's something quintessentially British about you that goes, oh, this is wrong, and why are you standing in front of me, and who are you, and why do you... And you get all of those feelings, and it's really challenging to go, actually, chill out, put your elbows out, and stand your ground, or if you're not happy, play by your own rules. But it's in this country, we love queuing, but some people just think they're over and above it.
Talking of Asian countries, and this isn't a dig at China, like I remember going there back in 2008 when I went travelling. It was such a culture shock, and you're trying to adapt to this new culture. It's quite scary, but equally it was quite exciting, and I loved China. I thought it was a phenomenal country, and the more I sort of went around, the more I got used to it. And actually, I'd love to go back. I just can't see it happening now.
No, same.
Maybe Hong Kong. I'd love to go back to Hong Kong. It's like an Asian New York.
It is, but they've got their own challenges.
Yeah, indeed.
But queue jumpers. Next one up is people. This is from Howard.
Oh, our friend Howard.
Feels a bit xenophobic. People in general. And sometimes do have those days where you just don't want to see another living person.
Yeah.
Aside from perhaps people that you cohabit with. There's argument to say that just people can get in the sea. Yeah,
no, I'd agree with that. I think we've covered a lot of people in this episode.
A lot of our problems are people related, aren't they? Let's face it. This one's very niche. It's from Twitter. When someone is listening to a good ass song and I go to Shazam and it ends.
Yeah, struggle's real.
It is. And it's always literally how quick can you get to your mobile and start pressing that button before the track ends.
I don't use Shazam anymore. I mean, on my phone I've got Google. I say, okay Google, what song is this? It does the job for me. So.
Oh, she's working.
I don't have that information.
There you go.
Oh, she's trying to listen now. It's okay Google.
Because I've got Google Home, so she's also listening to us now.
Lovely.
Yeah. Everything's connected. There you go.
This is real life shit happening right now.
Hey Google, stop. See, we've got to talk very politely.
We obviously sound very similar because my phone just went, oh, I'm going to start listening again.
Oh really?
Yeah. Beautiful.
There we go. So yes, people is obviously a problem. No, Shazam, sorry. This one's very niche. Dentists. You've had a couple of dentist trips in recent times. You
never meet a poor dentist, and I mean that in the sense of they are quite rich.
Cha-ching! This one's very niche though. When a dentist wants to start a conversation with you, but he has his tools in your mouth. Now, sure, that's not a euphemism, and he's digging around. But don't you find that the dentists go, okay, so blah blah blah, and you're like, Get that fucking drill out of my mouth, or don't ask me a question. Apart from, is that okay or does that hurt? Don't say, go into an in-depth conversation when, you know, you've got my mouth with one person with the sucker.
Yeah.
And the other one running away. You know, this isn't going to be a conversation that either of us are going to enjoy.
To be fair, I don't have that problem with my dentist. She's very good, and it's either a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a hand up.
It's easy, see.
I tell what, I had to have a small filling back in February, only a small one, and she said, "Oh, you're not going to need an injection for this. It's just going to be a quick hole, and I'm going to fill it in.
Oi, oi.
But if you feel any pain, you know, raise your hand." And I tell her, she's drilling into this hole to prep, and must have hit a nerve or something, because I suddenly spazzed.
Wow.
My legs twitching, and I was like, yeah. She was like, "Oh, I'm done now." I was like, "Thank fuck for that."
Bit late. Yeah.
But as soon as she hit whatever it was, probably like I say, a nerve, my arm went straight up, and she was like, "I'm done now." Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for that.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, dentists, what in a chat when there's loads of stuff in your mouth. And the last one's quite a good one. Obviously, it's grind their gears. Is your baby good? I assume that I know Sally's recently had a child, so congratulations, Sally. Is your baby good? Nah, mate, they held up a bank yesterday. So I think the point she's getting at is people are saying, you know, is everything okay?
Does your child behave?
How's your child? Is everything okay? Which is customary to say, how's the kids? If you've got kids. Obviously, she's been asked that question too many times, and actually, really, how different can their situation be apart from they're not okay or they're okay? But I think she's obviously been asked that question far too many times.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I can't answer that because I don't have kids.
You have a cat, though. How's your cat?
Hey, he's alright.
It's not the same, really, is it?
No. How's your cat? Well, he's alright. He's a lazy little shit, and he's a pest. But I love him.
There you go.
That's all that matters. That's all you need to know.
Sounds like kids. So yes, we've got to the end of the listeners.
I'm looking forward to Volume 3 next year.
Oh, there's going to be
I'm sure
a lot
we'll
that's
cover
gonna piss us
old
off.
ground. There'll be something new.
Yeah.
More pricks clapping on a plane.
Yeah, more road rage.
Twats on
road
scooters.
users. Yeah.
A
Plenty more to look forward to. But I mean, if we missed any, or you want to still get involved, guys, look, we don't have to wait. We can add a couple on to the next episode.
We'll just bolt it on.
We could do that.
Indeed. I don't know what we're doing for our next episode. I think we were going to do Mandela Effect Volume 2, perhaps.
Oh, right. Do some more research.
Yeah.
Because in the last episode we did drop Strange Mysteries, didn't we?
Yeah, that was a good episode.
That's really good. Which is in the same vein as Mandela Effect and conspiracy theories and folklore.
Yeah, folklore, urban legends, and all that good stuff.
So yes, perhaps Dan, go back and listen. Make sure we don't repeat ourselves.
I think so. Back to 2019. It's a good episode. I say it came about from Conspiracy Theories Volume 1, and a listener wrote and said, "Can you talk about the Mandela Effect?" And then, of course, it just ended up being its own thing. It's an absolute mind bender. It starts to make you question your own reality.
It does
in a lot of ways.
I love those things. But yeah, we might do a Volume 2. But then again, if someone else has got a recommendation, then get in contact and we can have a look and see how we can squeeze it in. But we've got some contact details, Dan. How can people get in contact?
We are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at On The Topic Pod. We've got Gmail, which is On The Topic Podcast at gmail.com, and if you follow any of our socials, there is a link to Anchor where you can leave us a voice message, much like some of our previous listeners like Howard. And we've got WordPress,
yes, our website, all lowercase, all one word, On The Topic Podcast at wordpress.com. Very simple. Once you go there, you'll see our ugly mugs, you'll see our bios, you'll see links to our affiliate content provider Joey and his lovely garments, which Dan's wearing one today. Our newsletter you can sign up to, and if you don't have a podcast player of preference, you can stream all of our back catalogue from the website. So it's a wonderful place to go have a look, go have a rummage and see what's on our website.
Yeah, indeed, some good stuff out there, and hopefully we'll try and get onto YouTube at some point. I need to get off my lazy ass and do some artwork for some videos.
Do a banner, and then we'll be on YouTube.
We sorted everything else out. We just need to get the videos done, and I need to get off my lazy ass and get some artwork done for these videos.
We'll get it done.
I'll do it. It's fine. Somehow, some way,
It will happen.
We'll get through.
Yeah.
But by God, that has ended another ranty, sweary episode.
Loved it.
I might go fight an e-scooter rider in a minute on my way home. I've been Dan.
And I'm telling you to back the fuck up because you're too close to me. I'm Alex.
And we'll see you next time.